All right, guys, here we go with this example. So what we're going to do is work off of what we were talking about yesterday, where we wrote equations in point slope form. So I'm going to start that way. And then after this, you guys will then be asked to do an example just like this. But for each problem, we are given a set of points, okay? And we want to write the equation of the line that goes through those 2 points. So the first thing I'm going to do is find the slope. So we have our slope formula here. We've done a ton of slope at this point, so you guys hopefully are aware of that. We subtract the y's on top and the x's on the bottom. So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to subtract on top -5 minus -3. And on the bottom, I will do 4 minus 2. Okay, so I'm just finding the slope to start off with. So -5 minus -3 is like -5 plus 3, which is -2. I get -2 on top. And then on the bottom, 4 minus 2 is 2. So then -2 divided by 2 is -1. All right, so now I know my slope. My m value is -1. Now, if I'm going to write an equation in point slope form, I can choose either point. Okay, and they both mean the same thing. So I'm going to choose the first point to -3. Okay, I'm choosing that point. You could use the other one if you wanted to, and you get a good answer. So when we write the equation, remember we did this in class last time. We do y minus the y value. So it's going to be y minus -3, which is y plus 3, equals our slope, which is -1. That's our slope, times x minus our x value, or x minus 2. So that's it. That is our equation. Okay, y minus, once we know the slope and a point, we do y minus the y value equals the slope times x minus the x value. All right, now I can graph that point. Graph that line. Okay, we have a starting point here at 2, -3. So I'll go to 2 over 2 and down 3. And put a dot there. So there's 2, -3. And it has a slope of -1. So from there, I'm going to go down 1 and over 1, down 1 and over 1. And I can keep doing that forever. But here is my line. It goes right through all those points. Okay, and notice it goes through 4, -5. If I look over here, if I went to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes through the point 4, -5. So it should all make sense and come together. Now this part is new, okay? So this part where we're going to change it from point slope form into slope intercept form. So that's kind of new for today. But what we do is we take our equation here. So we had y plus 3 equals -1 times x minus 2. And what we're going to do is solve it for y. So I'm going to distribute the -1 first. So I have y plus 3 equals -x, -1 times x. And then -1 times 2 is plus 2. And now I'm going to move this 3 over here. Okay, so I'll subtract 3 from both sides. So our final answer is y equals -x minus 1. Now a tie-in to what we did before. Remember, this means we have a y-intercept of -1. That makes sense with our graph. It's right there at -1. And we still have a slope of -1. Makes sense with our graph. Okay, so we're just changing it back from point slope to slope intercept form. All right, any questions on that? All right, just to quickly show you guys that I told you here, you could choose either point. If you chose the other point for -5, that's okay. Your equation then would look like this in green. It would be y minus -5, which is y plus 5, equals your slope of -1 times x minus 4. That would be a perfectly acceptable answer also. Okay, so it doesn't matter which point you choose when it says choose a point. You just have to choose one or the other, not both. All right, we have any questions on those?